Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgan 111, and welcome to Blueprints, which is a game I don't know very much about, but I've had it recommended to me by a couple of folks. It sounds like it's got roguelike deck builder stuff in it, but it's also like a puzzle mystery game, like Void Strangery kind of stuff, or an escape room kind of stuff. Um, and I don't know much about it, but little bits of information have been trying to get at me, and so I decided it was probably a good idea to start the game sooner rather than later to avoid spoilers. And so let's try this game out. What we got? It sounds like it's raining. I may need to adjust the volume after we get into the game. Okay, yeah. Alright, this is not a movie. I don't need this much credits at the start. Give me a game. So here's some guy.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me.
Alright. Didn't realize there's going to be voiced audio. Hopefully there won't be too much of that.
I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate.
Alright, I've heard things about finding room 46.
The room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse.
What kind of time frame do we have to work in?
Whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993.
93?
Herbert S. Sinclair.
Interesting. Blueprints. Alright. Day 1. And was that us, Simon or whatever, going into the mansion or manor or whatever it is? And I think maybe now I have control. Okay, so I can look at the mouse. So it's one of these games. I can WASD. We got birds. I don't seem to have like a cursor or reticule or anything. And so I'm not sure. My mouse sensitivity seems a little bit low. I've got walking, footsteps. But yeah, let me adjust some controls really quick. Okay, I poked around in controls a little bit. Someone's holding the Ace of Spades over here. And let's see. If I walk forward, I go at this speed, and if I hold down Shift, I go at this speed, so possibly a little bit faster. Queen of Diamonds. We've got busts, we've got a clock. That does appear to be moving. And there's like a note, okay, and when my mouse, okay, I do have a tiny little mouse thingy that I couldn't see before, but I can look at the note. So let's have a look. Open only in the event of my death. Next page. It says right arrow. but I can also just click. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. Got it. By the time you read this, I'll assume you're fully aware of my last wisage and all the details of the bequest. Do not mistake my attentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. There's a few ground rules of this commission, covered in the fine print, bring to your attention. New tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. Don't suspect any of these stipulations should prove an impediment. For someone as resourceful to yourself, you start fresh each morning. And so I think this is roguelike in the sense that we get a day to explore, and you'll fail, and then you start off fresh the next day, but it's a knowledge-vania, and so you're like learning stuff. It has a vague reminding me of, for those who watch me play Spelunky 2, and like minor Spelunky 2 spoilers, like it's a roguelike game, but there were also like mysteries, like there was like a secret room in 1-4 that you had to even like discover existed and then like figure out how to get in it. That was kind of a challenge that was interesting, and so I feel like there's like some of that going on. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same that you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century. Even I am uncertain which room lies beyond any particular door. Don't go where the path leads, abandon the path, and go where you want it to lead. With all of my love and wishes, best of luck. Herbert Sinclair. Alright. So, that's that, and there's a blueprint. The Mount Holly Blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during your adventure. You can press tab. Alright. Tab. Entrance hall. Okay, great. We've mapped it out. Here's the entrance hall. There is antechamber. And it shows you like a tiny little map of the place. So there's the playing card things that we saw on the walls, and here's like the clock or something. Okay. You can call it a day if you want to like give up. And I think there isn't like any kind of like saving progress either. Like you play out a full day, and so I'm not sure how long episodes are going to turn out to be. And I've got 3 different doors I can go in. Like I don't know how much I should be looking around. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you lose 1 footsteps. I notice that there's 50 footsteps in the upper left. When you no longer have any footsteps back, you'll be too tired to continue and must call it a day. Got it. So our exploration is limited, and that way it's a little bit like, I can't think of the name of it, some other roguelike that I've played. In any case, there might be other things to look at in here, but for now, I'm just going to explore the mansion. Like, oh, select a room to draft. So is this kind of like the deck-like thing? Bedroom. Whenever you enter this room, gain 2 footsteps. Closet has 2 items. And a hallway, which can lead to other places. Let's say closet. I like items. What items do I find in here? It looks like a key. The silver key. Alright, leads to a room with many doors. Alright, and I got 1 gem. I'm not sure what the gems are for, and then the rest of this I think is kind of decorative stuff in the closet. And okay, and now if I take out my tab map, it does show the closet on the map. And it shows the silver key in my inventory, and it shows that I've got 1 gem. I have 0 other keys and 0 monies, so I'm not sure what the gems are for. And if I open this, can I open it with the silver key, or... No, it's just like a random drawer, or a random door. Chapel. Alright, costs money to enter it. Can I lose money otherwise? Hallway and a nook, which gives you a key. Let's see if I am able to enter the chapel, even though I have no money. So here's the chapel. I walk in, and my inventory still shows me at 0 money. So Doesn't seem to be an issue. If you don't have any money to lose, you can't lose more than you have. But I don't have a sense of like how much pixel hunting I will need to do in this game to like look around for like things on walls or something that I can take. I guess we'll spend a little bit of time kind of running through this crazy place. There's like a chalice, a bishop, like a chess bishop as opposed to a churchy chapel bishop or something. Okay. Let's go through this door. Spare room, pantry, or lavatory? Let's check out the lavatory. It's a bathroom. It has the expected stuff and things. HSS. The middle S is very fancy looking. Got a helical staircase to nowhere. Have a few things, but I think unless I get like a mouse cursor that tells me I can click on something, I probably don't need to worry about it. It says rank 2 in the bottom corner, and I'm curious. Just has the description of the things. I'm not sure what the rank 2 is. Room directory? Directory. Mount Holly, room 0 through 12, 13 to 24. Okay, so these are all the rooms you've encountered. I understand I'm room 46 would be the final one, so maybe you have to encounter the other 45 and then it categorizes them in various ways. The lavatory and the chapel are red rooms, for example. Okay. Alright, don't know what any of the purpose of any of this is. I am curious, if I go through a door here and I also go through a door here, will they connect together? So let's take a... Corridor is always left unlocked. Pantry gives you money. Guest bedroom gives you extra steps. Let's do the pantry. Alright. It says I get money. Do I have to find it somewhere? Is it sitting on the ground right here? Yes. Zink, 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 zink. Now I've got 4 monies. Could I have left it there and came back for it later? Perhaps. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. Closed amount should cover expenses. Bring back any change and leave it in the pantry. Alright, I am not Bridget. I do see a banana over here, and so I wonder if a banana can give me more steps, because I apparently get tired out from all the steps I'm taking around. So, banana. If I pick it up, plus 3 steps. And now I'm at 47, but I didn't notice what my step count was before I picked it up, and so that was perhaps not as informative to me right now as it could have been. But I've got video, which means I'll be able to look back at it. Okay, and so my map right now... The pantry would connect back to the entrance hall is one of the things I was wondering about, so let's go check that out. There's a parlor, there's a den. Let's do the den. Alright, so my step count just went down to 46 as I walked in. And we've got various objects and bits and bobs. More crazy clocks that have a little bit of ticking noises to them, or maybe this is the one that I'm hearing ticking. It does seem like perhaps the same amount of time has passed. More chess pieces. Seems to be one of a number of common themes. More clocks which are reading the same time. The trunk is locked, and apparently I do not have the key to unlock the trunk. Is this some kind of gem-jigger? Yes, now I'm up to 2 gems. Alright, so I appreciate the fact that the gems have been brightly colored, and so the contrast made it easy to see there's something. I'm at 46 steps. If I go back into the lobby, I am at 45. Okay, so going back and forth kind of works in the expected way. And I don't notice any changes here. Can I step outside? Let's find this out together. Is there anything else here? No, I looked at these birds before. So 44, it brought me to the grounds. Does that show up on my map? It does not show up on the map. Does it show up in my room directory as the ground somewhere? I wonder. I don't think so. Alright, so what's up with the grounds? Are there things to do out here? Oh, make a wish! By pressing E. Let's make a wish. Sploosh. Alright. I threw a coin in the fountain, but it did not ask me what my wish was. And so none of us will ever know. Should I be doing this? Can I go this way? That appears to be locked, so I guess not. I do go faster when I'm holding shift, but not by a lot. This door looks like it's already opened. So it looks like I could go this way. 43. So I think I just took another step. Wasn't paying enough attention. Private drive, the grounds. Okay. I'm not really sure why I came out here, but it's what I've done. This definitely looks like some kind of secret door. Maybe room 46 is through there, if only I could open it. But yeah, maybe we can walk around the outside of the mansion and get in another way. This door, however, doesn't seem to want to let me open it. Still at 43 steps. A tent? Hello. Can I meet people? I'm down to 42 steps. Now I'm at the campsite of the grounds. And due to the rules set forth in your great uncle's will, you're not allowed to stay in the estate overnight. But your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a responsible off-site sleeping quarters. You can call it a day at any time from the blueprint to return to the campsite for the night. Okay. So explain to me. Tab. Call it a day. Yeah, I understand. You can stay at the campsite of the night. Does staying at the campsite mean I would get to keep inventory or something? That I don't think so, because I thought the rules said that I couldn't do that, but then I'm not sure why the campsite matters. Was I camping before I arrived here, and that's what happens at the beginning? This looks like apple trees or fruit trees or something. And I need a code to unlock this. Okay, we need a 4-digit code to unlock the apple orchard. Or something. I'm at 42 steps. I think I want to try to go back to the mansion. So I think I will try to do that. Alright, back into the mansion. The only way that I hadn't gone yet was over this way. So let's explore. And actually, the volume ended up being quieter than I was expecting. There's a gem requirement for a walk-in closet. A walk-in closet seems like it would kind of like cut off all of my exploration. And I'm kind of interested in doing that. 4 items. Because I want to see then, like, do I not have any choices left in terms of like places to go? Shoes. Running shoes. Occasionally save steps when traveling long distances across the estate and grounds. Okay, that's nice. So maybe I do want to go outside. Maybe that's a clue to do so. More shoes, sure. More chess pieces. There's a gem. And there is a... some keys. Okay, so where was it that I witnessed something that was locked that I could not open? I know that happened at some point before. Why would you have a picture of a tag that says 10 framed in a closet? Seems an odd thing. So, where was it that I saw something that was locked? I did not make a note of it in my head. I don't think it was in the pantry. I don't think it was in the chapel. There was the combination lock. Was it in... I don't think it was in this early closet either. I'm using up all my steps, but let's not worry about that. Maybe it was in the chapel? Something just went, like, ka-chink as I took a step. And there's something that's like Z-fighting in the graphics over there or something. Oh, I forgot about the bathroom. Maybe it was in the bathroom, the lavatory, where we saw something locked. Forgot that this room existed. I should take a look at my map. I'm using my steps. It said clink again as I came in here. So maybe there is something clinkable in this room? That's a word, right? Lots of decorations. I hadn't looked very carefully at ceilings before. Let's go back into the pantry. There's like an egg timer or something there. There's also like a scale that I might be able to put things on in here. But yeah, still no recollection of where I saw something that had been locked. Here it is. This is lighting up now. Okay, it was here in the den. The trunk is locked. Use a key. I have 2 keys. I presume they'll be consumables, yes. One of them has disappeared in the upper right. And my reward is a spare set of car keys. Great. And a gem. Alright. And that appears to be what I've gotten. Car keys suggest that there might be a car. I have running shoes. For the grounds, I've got car keys, running shoes, silver key. Doesn't look like there's that many places for inventory slots, but perhaps more things will open up. So there might be a relatively finite number of whatchadoodles that I could get. And then just looking at the rooms again, yeah, I don't have any more doorways I can go through that I could obviously take to go new places. So I guess we'll check out the grounds again. Is it possible that this was locked and I didn't have a key before? It still doesn't want to let me go out that way. I didn't see any cars parked on the grounds or in the private drive. Can I see anything looking over the way here? Not particularly. Alright, so I'm going to wander and see if I can get anywhere else outside. So going past the campsite, there's something over here. But I can't seem to do anything. Also, I wonder, the interior of the house seems to be kind of randomized and changing, but I wonder if the outdoor grounds are not going to change. Once again, I would need the code. I'm not going to brute force that. Presumably we will find out the information at some point. Is there anywhere else I can go over here? Yes and no, but mostly no. I think it does look like apple trees with some red apples. But I'm kind of not sure what I should be doing. And if I peek in here, does it give me the same information again? Yes, can't stay in that overnight. You can call it a day to return to the campsite for the night. Alright, well, I can do that from the menu at any time. So is there anything else that I could find? Because otherwise, I think I've explored the limits, possibly, of this random day. There's nothing else I could do. There's a little walkie path thing over here. Okay, here's some steps down at the front of the house that I had not found before. Looks like there'd be a way to get through there. If we could, break down the wood or something. Don't fall down there. Sounds scary. Not sure what's happening over here. We've got various benches. Is there an underground secret area, something, something, something? It's pretty dark in here. I wonder if a lantern is a possible object I might encounter at some point. And yeah, I can't really tell if I'm making any progress getting in here. Yeah, some of you can probably see what's on the screen, but I sure can't. So I guess we'll abandon that, but then once again, I think I've used up everything I can do. It doesn't let me fall off the edge, I just tried. Can I wish in the fountain again with the rest of my coins? Otherwise we might call it a day, because I'm not sure what else I could do here. Nope, seems like maybe that was something I could only do once. I do still have coins, but can't use them again. There's even a clock on the outside, which doesn't appear to have the same time. Unless that much time has passed. That looks like it's reading like 11:20 or so. I want to go back inside and see if the clocks read the same thing. Oh, it does. Okay, 11:20. I think I came in at like 10:30 or something when I first looked or noticed them. Okay. I still have 27 steps. If I look at my map, I got my items. I got things out of here. But yeah, it doesn't seem like I didn't find a car to use the car keys. The only car left in the estate should be in the garage. Okay, I can get more information by clicking on these. Alright, that just tells me what I already knew. Unlocking a door with the silver key will lead to a room with many doors. But I haven't figured out where to use that yet. And room directory, game settings. Alright, let's try call it a day. Tomorrow you will wake to find the rooms of the estate, as well as your current inventory, have been reset. And sure, let's call it. So, what happens now? Mount Holly, cramped bungalow. Total rooms 8, rank reached 1, steps taken 26, items found 3. And those were the 3 itemy items that stayed in my inventory as opposed to like gems and things. And then if I say exit, save and continue, I want to see like what the next day is like, and if I presumably still have my room directory. Day 2, okay, so it's actually like counting the days. It's walking me back up the front door. I have 50 steps again. House history. That's a new option. Okay, so it shows me my previous days. Here's my current day, day 2. I'm back in the entrance hall. If I take a look at the room directory, it is the case that it remembers all the rooms that I previously visited. Okay. And alright. And if I say save and quit, that also does a call it a day. Sure. I'm not sure how I should be playing this, but this seems like a nice short first episode to get a sense. Mount Holly, abandoned project. Total rooms 2. Rank reached 1. Why does it say total rooms 2? Oh, the antechamber always shows up on that map. So I guess maybe you're trying to make your way to the antechamber, and maybe you can just kind of like select rooms that kind of like give you twists and hallways and things that like get you in that direction. Maybe. I don't know. Let's save and quit. Okay. Hopefully once we get a sense of things, we can pick up the pace. While we're here in this title screen, there's a bishop again. We've seen a number of chess pieces. There's an hourglass. There's, I guess, like a violin or something. We've seen lots of candles. The blueprints are the kind of like map thing that we have at the beginning that we picked up. Not sure what this is. We got like compass and straight edge and right angle. There's some kind of weird, I guess that's a compass, like not that kind of compass, but north, south, east, west compass. There's coins. We did see some of those. We saw various books, but none of them readable. There's like a red crown. We had red rooms, and apparently there's also green rooms. There's some kind of globe atlas kind of thing, and then a bust of Sinclair or whatever his name is, Henry Sinclair. I can't remember. Okay, this also seems like the type of game where I'll probably take more notes and observations between episodes, I'm thinking. But yeah, don't really have a sense of what to make of this game, but here's one episode under our belts. I'm going to say I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Blueprints. For now, bye bye.